was using the wrong mouse. That's what I was doing. It's clicking. It's like nothing's happening. The music's just gonna have to keep playing. Thomas, happy Thursday. How are you doing?
Happy Thursday. Good. Life is good. We've got, as you and I discussed, I've got good weather in Texas right now. There's some severe weather and tornadoes and everything kind of spinning around. It's been crazy. Now the tornado just short time ago, it's a few hundred miles away, but the past 3 nights in a row, well, extending a few days back, massive hail. So everyone in town, their cars are destroyed. So we've got all the out of town pop-up tent.
Sorry, a police chase just went down my street. Like a car just zipped by, and then a cop car.
Oh,
after him. All right.
They missed the pole. That's important. They missed your power pole. But all the fly-by night, out of town, paintless dent repair people are in town with tents on every corner, and everyone's there. But yeah, so far about every night for 3 to 4 nights in a row, night/morning, we've had severe thunderstorms come rolling through, and so I've been up since about 3:15. Because we had a good one coming through, and then we had a tornado warning about 5 or so this morning. I'll better watch that. It was on a QLCS line coming through, so spin-ups happen often that don't ever really produce. But I thought, well, I better step and watch this one just in case, because it's around our neighborhood, and let's see what's happening. But nothing. But we're expecting more again, more tonight. So I'm in heaven. Life is good.
Good weather.
Yeah, I call it good weather.
That's what you wait for. That's we have a little bit different definition of good weather, but I'm glad you're happy. That is awesome. We have the heat started to develop. We've got a little bit of humidity, a little bit of heat. But can I go completely off script?
Not relevant podcast. Open invitation.
Southern hospitality is an interesting thing. I love it, but there's a part of it where other people become more comfortable with me and my house than I am with them in my house. Does that make sense?
It does. I understand what you're saying. Yes.
They're very open and accepting. When somebody just walks into my house because they know me, I'm not there yet. There are very few people that are at that status, that live near me, that can just knock, open the door, or even just, in this case, open the door. But that happened today, so that was exciting. So 3 times.
Oh, that's fun.
After the show.
Was it a city worker or a guy 3 doors down, not just checking for a leak or anything?
It's a lady we know that it's an interesting situation, but she needed some locks picked. She was like, "Hey, the woman of the home," she's southern drawl. Y'all here? Like, well, I guess. So she brought over some locks to pick. It took me, they were master locks, so they took like 30 seconds.
Yeah, cheap.
Picked them, and then she's like, "Well, I don't think these are going to work for me anyway." I'm like, "Well, I happen to have a bag full of locks because what kind are you looking for?" And so I gave her two locks, an Abus and the best master lock has to offer, which is not saying much, but it's one of those big, heavy, locks. The best one you can buy at Home Depot, basically, from Master Lock.
5,000 pound cutting, tension resistant, or something like that. That's what they say.
You can open it by looking at it slanty like that. So I said, "Look, I give you these. This one's for a chain. This one's for your trailer." And I said, "But these are the only keys I have for them. I've got one of each, right? And if you lose them, I can't help you because I can't come pick the locks for you. I can't do that."
Yeah.
"Hey, well, let me give you some money for them." I'm like, no, really. Mrs. Ari has been wanting me to get rid of all the junk locks I have sitting out here forever. I'm never going to use these, first of all, because I know how easy they are to pick. But second of all, I'm going to use them. And because I picked a lock for you and now you're offering me money, that changes everything from a favor to a felony in North Carolina.
Yes, big time.
I cannot pick locks for money because I don't have a lock picking license. Right. So I cannot take money for this. I said, "Don't lose the keys." She leaves 10 steps outside of the house. She comes back in the house. Where that key? Did I drop that? It's gone. Like, it's the only one I have. I've got 7 of those locks, but that was the only key that I gave her. And So she's like, well, when you find it, you tell me. Like, it's not here. I don't know where it went. I saw you put it in your pocket. I don't know where it went. So anyway, it was a little fun going there, but it's Southern hospitality. Some people are great here. It's always a good story.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not comfortable enough in that fact either. My thing is, sure, you can tell me all day long the door's open and come on anytime you need to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just got out of the shower and you forgot something and you're running across the house to do whatever. No, I will forever knock, ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you can tell me, just come on in, unless you just called me and said, yeah, the door's open, come in.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm at your door. Is it okay now? I've knocked 3 times. I haven't heard an answer. Are you home? Is everybody decent?
Right. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's more where I am as well. But
it's your home.
Good times all around.
But I'm guessing she doesn't watch the show, does she?
I don't think so.
No.
If she does. Hi. Knock next time, Kay.
Yeah.
Love you.
Oh, Virginia says, I would never walk into someone else's house without knocking. I'm so Southern as you can get. Yeah, Virginia, I agree. It's the friendly, comforting, hey, you're welcome anytime. But we still knock or ring a doorbell or wait and see what's going on. But
there's just some lines I just don't feel comfortable crossing, and that's one of them. So
speaking of the South, I've got another thing of Pringles, which for those that have been watching the podcast over the last few weeks, we've got this one.
Mm-hmm. That one's green.
We've got the carnitas one. These are all 3/4 full stale Pringles chips. We got the Philly cheesesteak one, not a sponsor. And then another green one. The difference between the green, this is the dill pickle one, which was so bad. And then this green one was the 7-layer dip one. So yeah, they're all sitting here. They're all stale because when I was drumming up the podcast this morning, I took a sample of the carnitas taco one because it was actually pretty good, and they're bad now. Yeah. No, so I picked up a new one that I saw, and this one, it's piqued my interest because it's Texas barbecue brisket.
Ooh,
but here's
if somebody knows about barbecue, I think it would be you. So I'm not sure if there's a better person to taste test this one.
So smoking meat and figured out, but here's where it's really got my mind going is barbecue chips aren't my number one, right? If there's a variety of chips sitting out, that's not my first grab, but it's top 5.
Yeah. It's a solid choice with most meals. I mean, it's a safe bet. It goes with so much.
Correct. My curiosity is going, how are they going to find a way to make this Texas barbecue brisket really taste different than a normal barbecue potato chip? I mean, how are they going to get a Texas brisket?
Yeah, that signature flavor.
How are they going to get that in there? So I didn't plan on it doing this early in the show, but you just brought up Southern
they do look good
and whatnot. Mm-hmm. They did the can well. So we'll give this one a whirl. What's crazy, there's no like barbecue. All Pringles look the same. That's what's weird to me.
As far as the shape, I can tell you why that is, and it's not appetizing, but it has to do with the fact that it didn't actually get sliced straight off a potato and then cooked.
Maybe once I finish, then we can go appetizing for me.
They were not always in that form factor, is what I'm saying. They may have been stirred and mixed and then excreted. I'm curious though. Is that you had 2, so the first one could not have been terrible.
I'm going with the third.
Okay.
They're extremely good, and this is why. It tastes like an original regular Pringle with the most tiniest hint of regular old barbecue seasoning.
No Texas.
It's like a diet barbecue chip. That's what it tastes like. It's just
it should be like their marketing slogan, diet barbecue.
It's just there's nothing Texas brisket about it whatsoever. So if you're looking for that, you're not going to get it. But it is just the most minuscule hint of barbecue in the chip. So actually, I kind of dig it for that reason. So they need to change it. It should be light barbecue.
with brisket, you've got your outside and you got your inside. Maybe you have to find one of the chips that's the outside chip instead of the inside chip because you've got the mild flavor.
There's no crust and smoke ring and anything in it, even though it shows it in the little cut brisket right there.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't exist, and that would mean I have to eat half of this tennis ball container worth of chips to find out if there's.
Do it for science.
It's a great chip. They marketed it incorrectly.
Well, Pringles, we've got a new slogan for you. Diet BBQ is what this one's going to be.
Yeah.
I have to say the only thing I have to taste test today is not as appetizing. I have to thank Bug Dugger, by the way, for this, who you froze on my screen like mid this. This is how you froze just for a minute. You're back now. I've got this, which I know looks like some sort of sample you might give at the doctor's office, but is in fact pickle flavored soda. That Lester's Fixins pickle flavored soda. Y'all get your fixins is its slogan. Y'all get your fixins.
That doesn't look appetizing. Gally May agrees with no times 10 zeros. Pickle soda, no. We've got oh no. Ohio Mama is pickled green in the face.
Pure cane sugar. I'm not sure if I'm more offended with the sugar and the pickle together, or I mean, this is. I anticipate it's probably carbonated because it says soda.
All right, we've got,
and I just picked it up today, so it's probably overcarbonated. So opening up my desk is probably not the best idea, but I'm going to give it a shot. I just don't have a can opener.
We got to find a way to open it because a million people have said no, ew. Here, Twibble says keep that away from me.
Kmart has a can opener, right?
It's a big no.
Oh no, it doesn't have the teeth on the back.
You just put your finger on the bottle in the back of the knife and back of the knife, not the blade of the knife.
It's plastic though. This is a
all right. You got a little peer pressure in chat here from Melinda. Drink it. There's no way it's good.
I'm looking for something that someone has sent me that I can open. I know the Sloth Life has sent me, a couple knives that I might be able to use, but they're really nice knives. I don't want to mess them up. How about this? We've got
more peer pressure.
This is a long time ago. It's a butterfly knife that's actually a comb. I think I could probably get the handle.
You could MacGyver that.
Okay, it's releasing some pressure, which I have to do slowly because this could go everywhere.
Oh,
all my gear would smell like pickles forever.
Pickled juice, sour equipment.
Okay.
Oh, we heard it flop and hit the floor and everything.
Yeah, it landed on the floor, which is where it's going to stay.
So, chat, kudos.
There was no eruption of bubbles.
Okay, so not carbonated. Chat, just so you know, credit goes to Scott here because he showed me this and said, I'm going to share this, but I'm not going to try it tonight because I'm too nervous. So you guys have talked him into giving this a whirl.
Let me show you this. I'm seeing just a few bubbles rise up. So let's see if we can get this focus here. I'm seeing just a couple bubbles. If I tap it a little bit, you might see them rise to the top.
Yeah, a little bit. Kathy Trout's on team awesome. It sounds awesome. Kathy's all in.
I can tell you this, I'm not expecting to have any muscle cramps tonight.
Can you give a quick recap? Because Virginia says, what is it?
Well, doctor's office called, said the results are in. No, just kidding. This is pickle flavor soda. Bug Dugger sent me along with a couple other pickle things. She also sent me some pickle flavored popcorn seasoning and emotional support pickle with 2 legs. It's the first emotional support pickle I've got that's crocheted with 2 legs instead of just a traditional pickle shape. But it's supposed to be soda. It definitely smells like dill. Like I can already.
They always overdo the dill.
It smells like I opened the Nally jar, and it's strong.
Bottoms up. Oh, it's good. It's good. We've got a winner. It's good. He loves it.
Carbonation is there. And you feel the carbonation when it hits your mouth, but something about the carbonation, the bubbles in your mouth seems to amplify the effect of the pickle flavor. Like, as it like washes over your tongue with all the bubbles. It's a lot. And there's sugar in there too.
He went in for a second swig, even after heaving from the first one.
That's because the aftertaste died off very quickly. So I thought that maybe it might be better after
So you
the
forgot.
compression.
So you forgot what it tasted.
It has sugar. I mean, this
Going in
is
for more.
this is a dill for sure. This is definitely dill, but
You make me want to eat chips because these taste good.
either it numbs my tongue and I can't taste it anymore,
Or you like it.
it doesn't taste as strong. I don't like it, just for the record.
Okay.
It's as if you had a soda, so like a generic soda without really a strong flavor, but you have the memory of eating pickles fresh on your mind and tongue at the same time.
So it's like having you like a generic potato chip.
It's like a
the
diet
memory
pickle.
of some barbecue.
It's a diet pickle soda.
Yeah, we've got two diet products. We just made what a combo.
The smell is so much more powerful than the taste. It's like a cheese in that way, but it's really bad.
It's really bad as he takes his fifth drink.
It's not the worst pickle thing I've ever tried. The jelly beans are the worst. I will say that drinking out of a glass bottle with a overgrown mustache is a bit of a challenge. And I think I'm wearing half of it already. This is coming off tonight. I think I'm shaving the whole thing off. It's starting to bug me. But
well, that's a lot saying it's not the worst, because most pickle flavored things are bad because they always overdo the dill. They just front load the dill like crazy to get their point across, and it overtakes everything. It's awful.
Yeah, it's just sugar. You've got the dill pickle, and you've just got carbonated sugar water. So it's like, imagine carbonated Kool-Aid, but just generic flavor. No grape, no fruit punch. It's just like, I can tell this is Kool-Aid because of the level of sugar. There's that much sugar. The sugar hits you, and it smells like dill.
Weird. That's odd.
Yeah.
Don't try anything. I guess this wasn't part of the program, but I found this new drink the other day that I like them. Well, I need to wipe it off because the condensation's now dripping all over my gear. That's great. If the roadcaster dies, it's you know what just happened here.
Hang on, this water tastes so good now.
Deer Park, not a sponsor, but for the win. Gatorade. It's new to me. Some people might already know all about it. Again, Gatorade, not a sponsor. It's called Gatorade mashups. So they're marrying flavors. So this one is my favorite so far. It's the Cool Blue and Fruit Punch mixed together. And the bottle says mashups. It's fantastic. I bought another one this morning, which wasn't my favorite, but it's still good. It was the orange with their lemon lime mashup. But these are it's two iconic flavors in one. That's what they're advertising. It's
I see they've got the wrapper all around. What color did it end up? Is it purple? I mean, is it truly?
Man, half of it's gone, and I've never even noticed. It's not good. Yeah, it's a very light. It's like a violet.
Okay.
A little bit of translucent. Yeah.
I have a theory about this, and I formed this theory when I first saw Chex Mix, which is the original mashup when it comes to food, right?
Correct.
Pretzels.
Well, it's trail mix.
Well, the mix one that has all the. I think the factory screws up, right? Like there's a new guy on the line, and he's like, "Oh, are we doing fruit punch today? I thought you said Cool Blue," and they're like, "Crap, we now have 150,000 gallons of half Cool Blue and half fruit punch." And a quick email goes out to the marketing folks, and they're like, "Guys, work with us on this. What can we do? We'd hate to dump this down the drain, right? Because the fish don't like it." And they're like, "Hey, let's call it a mashup. let's say we did it intentionally. We'll sell it to people for a little bit more." And I think that's what they did. I think mistakes happen, and these are happy little mistakes, like little trees. Bob Ross's trees, and everyone ends up liking them.
I won't argue. Sticky notes that we all know and loved and use this day, they were an accident. There's a lot of great inventions that were accidents. So Gatorade mashup, Gatorade not a sponsor, but hit us up. Let us know. Be honest. Was this an accident or was this
Can I just say back to this pickle soda? Have you seen the Sprite challenge where you're supposed to drink like a whole bunch of Sprite and then try not to burp?
I've seen it on all the YouTube shorts, and yes, and I see everyone like yak in their car and spew Sprite all over their vehicles.
I'm having that same effect right now. It's like the carbonation is still quite active in the belly. And I've had to use my mute button 3 times now because I've been burping. And I'm worried one's going to come out mid-conversation. So if I just cut off the sentence and look away for a minute. But yeah. But
hopefully your mute button is working, unlike mine a couple weeks ago.
Wow. It's like either my tummy doesn't like it or it's just the carbonation just kicked in. Wow.
More Deer Park.
Yes.
More Deer Park.
That just might mean more comes up when it,
It tasted twice.
Wasn't good the first time. Let's start with some stories. We have some fantastic ones. I don't want to miss out on these.
Let's bunny hop to your favorite. You were just drinking out of a glass bottle. Let's bunny hop over the first one and go right into the second.
This story is older than I am. Barely by a year. This story is older than I am by 1 year. This is
I'm going to say that to my wife because it's only got her by 3.
Massachusetts teen in 1976, as a 14-year-old, writes a note in an oceanography class, sticks it in a bottle, and convinces the Coast Guard to throw it in the ocean, which nowadays would be called littering. But back then, I guess they did it as a science class,
Yeah.
And just for the record, yes, it still floats around for quite a while. And as proof of that, the garbage just floats around in the ocean forever. Clint Buffington, an experienced beachcomber who has found more than 100 messages in bottles across North America and the Caribbean, said he and his brother were exploring the coast in the Bahamas a few weeks ago, and they made the discovery they found the note. This note, cool, written in 1976. Here comes.
Oh.
What
sound effects
so
do
bad.
I have on this?
None, no sound effects. So basically, nearly 50 years later, they find the note, and they were able to find the guy who wrote it. The guy has no recollection whatsoever of. See, you're looking for sound effects. He has no recollection of writing the note, but he does remember the class. He's like, I remember the class. It was cool. I enjoyed it. The oceanography class. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the brothers are going to return the notes to him in person.
So cool.
Say, keep your trash out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Don't make us pick this up.
And here's a fine from the local police for littering. Okay.
But
no, I love that stuff.
They found it in the Bahamas. He threw it in the ocean. I believe it sounds like near Massachusetts. So New England coast, somewhere along those line, it was thrown in the ocean. Who knows where it went? I mean, there's no GPS track of this, but it probably floated around forever.
Forever.
I mean, the journeys it went on and all the fish it's seen and
the storms it saw.
Yeah, the hurricanes, the waves, the stories it could tell, but ended up on a beach and found by those brothers. That's just cool.
Have you ever tossed a message in a bottle out in the water?
I have not. I've found some things that were in jars that when I opened, I wish I hadn't opened. But other than that, no, I have not. I imagine these brothers have found a few of those too, urns and things like that.
Yes.
What did the note say? The note said,
it's hard to read, but it's there. It doesn't say in the article, but there's a YouTube thumbnail.
This is a message in the bottle. I'm a 9th grade student from a regional junior high. This is an experiment in an oceanography course. Will you please send this back, to the bottom and say where you found it or something?
XYZ Coast Guard ship.
Send this to the address at the bottom.
Yeah.
and say where you found it and the time and everything. It was basically like, we're going to try to track the movements and the currents was the idea. So it was all just pretty much a science experiment. There was nothing like, I'm writing this poem to the person who finds it. You went, none of that. Nothing romantic at all. But Peter threw that in the ocean courtesy of the Coast Guard and found 50
It's been
years
found,
later.
which is so cool. We when I was a youngster, I was 16 or so, maybe 17, 16 or 17. I don't remember. I just know I could drive. I was big time surfing back then in the summer times. That was my off seasons and my traveling hockey days. And my buddy and I, my parents had this van, super cool. It's meant for like a one night camping thing only. Like the back couch thing just went folded out to a bed. It's like a 1985 Dodge Ram Econoline something. I mean, it was nicknamed the beach buggy, right?
Yeah.
So when I was home for the summers, my parents would let me take down to the beach and go surf, and a buddy could come with me, and we would just park in the parking lot there and stay the night so we could wake up and surf really early again in the morning and then come home. And I had a little TV with the AC adapter, but the TV it was the TV VCR built in. So we would I could put like the Mighty Ducks VCR tape in or something and watch that at night. But so we did the whole message in a bottle. And I think it was like two good pals surfing, and we just threw it out there, right? That Friday afternoon when we were done surfing. And man, it was an incredible journey that bottle took, because the very next morning we got up to go surf. It was sitting in the sand right there. Just watch right back.
Open it, see what it says.
Yeah, we basically threw a boomerang out there.
I guess you have to wait for the tide. And I assume like a good rip current would probably help. Give you some better odds.
Yeah,
but
we didn't think that went through. We just we could have just held on to it, and the same thing would have occurred. So that took place.
Tell you, the number of things you can find on a beach is incredible. That's why one of my favorite places to metal detect, because every day you go back and the ocean's delivered new treasures. And the visitors, the patrons, the depositors have made new deposits to find. So good times. You can almost always find a cell phone. And I think I find a jewelry about every two hours or so on average on the beach.
That's pretty neat.
So necklace, ring, toe ring.
I bet the Outer Banks, you would just clean house because of the amount of tourists during the tourist season that go up there and just.
You would, if you can sneak a metal detector on there without getting caught, because it's National Seashore, and they will bust you in a heartbeat if you have one in the car.
So that's the same regulation as like flying a drone out of a national park, like big no type stuff.
Yeah, it's similar. They launch they scramble a couple jets, like yeah, they're strict about that. But there was a message there a minute ago asking if Mark had joined the chat. I did not see Mark. If you're out there, good call today, except for one part.
Oh, I missed it. I hopped into mod chat and all I saw was this is an amazing prank call at the moment or something. But I didn't have you up live, so I didn't get to hear it.
It was 99% incredible and 1% terrible.
What happened?
It's all Mark's fault.
What did Mark do? Was he with Travel Points, or was he with something else?
It was the same routine, but he was willing to go off script, which is always fun. So we're talking, and we're buddy, and we're sharing some stories, making some connections. I feel like we had something going on, and then he went highly inappropriate, comparing my experience trying lobster with an adult activity, which is not suitable for talking about. It's very detailed. Yeah. He went there. I'll have to text you later. I'll tell you what it is. But
fair enough. Okay.
He's like, oh yeah, lobster's great. It's like, and then he described this this activity. Just a couple words.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I'm like Mark. I did not. Nothing I said gave him permission. Hey, Reverend Beasy, good to have you here. Nothing I said gave him permission to go there. I didn't lead the conversation that direction. Yeah, don't eat lobster with him unless you want crabs. That was Greener's comment.
Oh, Greeners, I've missed you so much.
Yeah. But we ended up basically, saying, look, it's been fun. We're going to let you go. We're on YouTube. And he's like, oh, what's the channel name? I might check it out after work. So if Mark shows up, let him know that this is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube. And we have certain rules here, but you're welcome to stay as long as you follow the rules.
Italian
in your accent. Just you got it there. Careful. Do you have like a special, like a favorite dish or something, like a family dish?
Is my favorite day.
Lobster for the first time this year.
Do you have a mute button ready?
It's on your end. Okay, so now you know. Now you know. So, anyway, Mark was an interesting call.
So you've had 2 shows today demonetized, and credit goes to Amber because I just got the clip to my phone, said, "Here it is, play it, play it, play it."
Amber.
I didn't know.
It cut.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know what it said. Wow. Ivan called the first 2 picks for $1,000. I'm off to celebrate. Ivan, congratulations! Your skill with picking both cryptocurrencies and winners in sporting events is epic. Good job, and thanks for the generosity. It's always a good day when Bitcoin's going up. He donates.
Yeah.
On to other topics. Best moment of the year so far. Was not the best moment of the year for me.
Yeah, good night. I invited Principal Roy on the show tonight, and he declined. And then he turned around. For those that don't know, he lives in the same neighborhood, and he walks every evening. And he declined, and he took about 4 steps to continue his walk away. And he stopped and went, peer pressure's hard. I'll be there. And then sadly, I got a text today. He said he had a conflicting interest coming. He couldn't make it, but
had to wash his pet goldfish or something urgent.
Whatever it was, he got to dodge hearing Mark's story about lobster. So kudos to Roy. He's okay.
Roy, he made the right choice. He made the right choice, Roy. Man, from one bottle on the beach to another bottle on the beach story. This one goes over to I think we're in India.
We're in India. Yeah.
We're in India.
We're in a small island off India.
Now, a few people know about this, but there are a couple places in the world where there are indigenous peoples who live completely isolated from the world as we know it. Now, all they might see of modern culture might be an airplane high in the sky at 36,000 feet going across.
They don't know TVs exist. They don't know that's a thing.
They speak their own language. They have no outside influence as far as government goes on their culture. They live how they choose to live, these tribes. And because they're so isolated, they're actually extremely vulnerable to disease. Things like the common cold that we spread around constantly and have been fighting, and our bodies have developed immunity to a little bit. But something like that could wipe out a population on this island if someone just brought a germ that wasn't, that they weren't ready to fight off. This particular tribe, though, on this island has their own defenses. They are highly distrusting of outsiders, and previous people who have tried to visit have been killed and buried on the beach. And it's like, enter at your own risk. They shoot you full of arrows, bury you on the beach, and that's it. A YouTuber shows up and decides he's going to try to meet them. He breaks the rules. He goes within 3 miles of the island, which is the buffer zone. They're not allowed to go within. Lands on the beach and tries to find them. Luckily for him, he was not successful because the tribe has not been receptive to anyone previously. Right. He was not susceptible. He brought a coconut and a can of Coke to offer.
Diet Coke can.
Yeah, to offer as like a gift, like, hey, welcome, I bring gifts. First of all, coconut, seriously, they live on an island. You know how many coconuts they find every day and walk by and kick back in the ocean? The coconut would be an insult, basically.
Right. 100%.
Like, we don't want your stinking coconut.
Yeah.
And the Coke, they're never going to trust it. This is something shiny and metal that they literally probably have very little interaction with anything metal on their island at all. And it would just get you killed. But he didn't get killed. Lucky for him. Unlucky for him, he posted about it. And the Indian government arrested him, and he's awaiting trial. He could spend 5 years in prison, and they are serious about it.
Big time. It's there's a really good quote in there. Do you have it? It's the quote of, I mean, you kind of touched on it, but where it talks about the dangers of outsiders approaching these tribes, and I gotta pop up.
Let's see. He
Where did he say? We take our commitment to assist U.S. citizens abroad. Seriously, no, that's not it. Visitors demand for traveling within 3 miles. The inhabitants use spears and bows and arrows to hunt the animals that roam. So they attack anyone who lands outside their beaches. Man, I don't see the quote, but it talked about maybe claimed to be a venture trip, but the fact is there's been a violation of any laws. Outsiders meeting this tribe survival. It could severely endanger this tribe's survival just by simply going to meet them or talk to them. And I do get that, actually. That makes sense.
Part of the problem is he actually left the can of Diet Coke.
Oh boy, you pack it in, pack it out. It's rule number one.
With the coconut, a lot of times people are wondering why is Custom so mad at me bringing fruit in. Well, fruit has diseases or has parasites and things like that. So just bringing the coconut could wipe out a plant that is crucial to this tribe's survival if it has a parasite on it, and then bringing the can of Coke. Coke is like, keep us out of this, please. I mean, we already ran the gods must be crazy, and no, we were in that one, but we don't want any part of this. Not a sponsor. So he's in trouble. And honestly, I think he should probably serve. I'm not sure about 5 years. 5 years seems a little steep. But
that seems steep, but there should be some punishment, especially if you know it's an issue and you go anyways. And when you're YouTuber, you're doing it for the views and the attention. So you're risk reward, right?
Yep.
He's facing the risk.
He should get the reward.
Yeah. Well, now he might get a little bit of both. Whatever video footage he had, if he still uploads his little experience and his travel, and then he's gonna have a follow-up when he gets out of jail saying, I went to jail for this. It's probably gonna boost his channel.
I hope he gets a lot of people who are like, hey dude, that's not cool,
right?
Because there are so many channels out there that do stuff that
leave people alone.
Yeah, the guy who's just, I walk up and I slap people for fun as a prank, like this guy. So that's assault. First of all, and they're like, hey, it's a prank, don't beat me up. No. One guy got shot doing that.
Yes, I saw that in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in Home Depot, they grab like a 5-gallon bucket and they like toss it on someone's head and whack it, and then they like run around the corner and stuff like that. That stuff's not funny. Or the people that pretend to be Walmart employees with the vest and they go in and screw with people. They're screwing with the patrons and the employees, and that stuff's not cool. I'm sure years to come, stuff's going to change because of these people making money off of being a nuisance. Laws will change, policies will change to make sure they can't do it anymore.
You mentioned people screwing with employees, and I had a little entry at the very bottom of the rundown that I hadn't told you about. That
what did you do? I don't know the story.
Here's tonight. Okay,
Scott.
Mrs. R.A. has been spring cleaning our house, and she's been working her tail end off, and the kids been working their tail ends off. And I'm like, "Do you want me to go get dinner?" And they said yes, but they chose Little Caesars Pizza. I'm like, "Sure, I'll go get Little Caesars Pizza." Yeah,
$5 hot and sweaty.
Yeah, mostly sweaty, less hot. And I've had my issues with Little Caesar Pizza, but at the same time, I understand that this is not gourmet pizza that I'm ordering. Okay, when I'm paying $5 for a pizza, I get $5 worth of pizza, and I order online through the app, pay with my phone. It tells me I should be there. I get there like 2 minutes early. I walk in right behind a guy who I won't out his company name, but he's walking from his company vehicle. He walks in and he's not here to pick up pizza. He's carrying his receipt from his order. And he proceeds to complain about his meal and demand a refund.
But just the receipt, but no food or anything.
He ate it. They got the food, but he's mad because it was subpar, and he's just frustrated. And the manager's like, "Sir, I'm going to refund your money." And so I'm like, "You won." First of all, I didn't know returning pizza was a thing. I didn't know you could get refunds on pizza. I see it at Sam's Club all the time. Walmart, yeah, people use something, take it back. It's not cool. They do it, but pizza, I thought food was different.
Yeah,
he walks in. He's like, "I didn't like my meal. I demand my money back." And so she says yes. And I'm like, wow, I would have told him, where's the pizza? So,
yeah,
cough up the goods. I'm going to throw it away, but still, show me how much you didn't like the pizza. And as she's processing his request and saying, okay, it'll be 48 hours, it'll be back on your card and everything, he is still berating the pizza on how terrible it was. I'm like, man, you call what you want, leave it alone, you know? So some of us are here to eat, you know, don't quit telling us how bad the food is we're about to eat.
Right.
And he's like, the pizza just had like cheese all over on the top. And the woman like stops what she's doing. She looks at his receipt.
Cheese pizza.
She says, it was a cheese pizza. Like, you're complaining there was cheese all over your cheese pizza? And he immediately shifts to be like, and this store is just, it's so gross. I mean, look, and he looks around and up on the wall where you look in North Carolina, every store, every restaurant is required to have a food inspection report.
Yeah. With
a letter grade. And it says A, 94%, which is good. 94 is good for a fast food joint like that.
Yeah.
And it's like everything's orderly. Like all the pop is pushed up to the, you know, the cooler's working. Everything's fine. There's the napkins are, I'm like, you're complaining because what? There's a fingerprint on the menu screen up there. What? And he's just going off on that. But
anyway. Did you do anything to him? Did you say anything?
I talked to the manager afterwards. First of all, I thought in my head, I looked at his shirt and I realized he was packing heat, and I didn't want to involve anything when he was angry, and I knew he had a gun.
Yep.
Because he was printing, and so I didn't say anything. But afterwards, I talked to the manager. But in my head, I was thinking to myself, that is not the way you talk to the person who butters your breadsticks.
That's right.
That's right. That is inappropriate. And afterwards, I said, look, I've been coming here for 2 years. I know we've had issues, but you guys are great. You know, I can always depend on you to, you know, please don't let that guy bother you. And just give him a little compliment. And you know, and they had a line of cars. The drive-through was blocking gas station slots because they're like attached to a gas station. There were people lined up, and it's like, and he takes all the time to walk in there and stop what they're doing so they can process his refund and for the food he ate. I'm like, don't do that. So, anyway.
And they grant the refund, and he keeps on keeping on.
But there's a certain North Carolina private security firm that I'll never be doing business with. So,
perfect.
So yeah. Anyway,
made a good name for himself. Way to go, and his company or a company he works for. Yeah. Oh, people are the most interesting things on earth.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person. But speaking of restaurants, that's perfect. It's if you go out to eat and you think you're making your own choices when you make your purchases and menu selections, a lot of times you might go to your regular spot and you know what you want and you're picking out. There you go. A lot of other times you're not having your mind made for you. And I found this interesting, and I've read these articles before, similar articles or takes on it. And I don't think I can argue with some of the points made. There's a woman claims she's a psychology marketing expert, and she's revealed the common ways restaurants play mind games to manipulate you into spending money. And we all know that's no big secret, right? We all know that's a thing. It's anywhere you're going out and spend money, they're going to try to do more. But it's funny. Her quote directly is, "Think you're making your own choices at a restaurant? Cute." That's what she says.
Oh, how cute.
She says you're being nudged, primed, and manipulated from the moment you walk in. And we all know that part because it starts with marketing, right? If anyone has seen the videos of food photography, like a giant cheeseburger with melting cheese and mayo. Well, the mayo is not mayo, it's Elmer's glue and, you know, all that stuff to make everything look so fresh and stand up. So we already know that part in the marketing. But there's interesting parts more so in the restaurants themselves, like a lot of areas that have cashiers counters with a tip jar. A lot of times those tip jars are just stocked by them, said restaurant, in the drawer in the morning, because when customers see a tip jar with cash in it, they're more likely to put some cash in said tip jar.
They don't want to be the person who doesn't tip, because clearly everyone else does.
Bingo. So no tip jar, no tips. Empty tip jar. You might be the one that gives the first tip, kind of, you know, but no, people are going to pass it. But there's kind of a little bit of cash sitting at the bottom of a tip jar. You're going to be the one that adds to it. So a lot of times those are planted tip jars. Let's see. Overpriced things on a menu. A lot of times they're not overpriced. Other items are just priced a little bit lower. It just makes you think you're getting a way better deal. And so you go after some of the other things that should only be, let's say, $4.99. You're not buying the $15.99 one. That's way too expensive. But the $4.99 one you're buying actually only costs the restaurant like $1 to make. So their margin is way bigger because they think you're getting a bigger deal. Let's see. There's another trick revealed. Daily special handwritten signs are likely to be the special for several weeks. But the staff is hoping that the handmade sign will make you believe that it's limited, it's fresh, because you think, oh, they must just wrote that sign this morning because that's where it is. So unless you're a regular at this place, you wouldn't recognize that.
I always just think nobody has that need of handwriting. That's got to be printed somehow.
Yes. This one's interesting. Has your server ever approached your table asking if you would like still or sparkling water? That's intended to lead you to choose one of the likely costly options instead of drinking just the free tap water. Because they'll say still or sparkling. And you just say...
I think this is a higher end restaurant they're talking about here.
Yeah, well, here in North Texas, when you're in a drought, they don't even give you what you have to ask for.
Is bring your own water.
Yes.
There's a shortage. Yeah. That is fascinating that they're using, understanding the human brain and how it works, and then giving those subtle clues to steer you in a direction where you walk out of there thinking either I got a deal or look what I got exactly what I wanted, and you got exactly what they wanted you to want.
100%.
So that human psychology element to shopping, we see it also in online with AI. I mean, look at Amazon. It's full of it. All we have to do is talk about a product on or listen to a show on YouTube that talks about a product, and then go to Amazon, and suddenly guess what's on the top of the screen?
Pringles.
For you. Yep. Like diet barbecue Pringles are right there. And it's pretty impressive. I guess the computers are getting really good at figuring out people. Pretty soon we're going to be replaced by robots entirely. As a matter of fact,
I think they're still not. They're not there. They're getting there, but I don't think they're close enough.
As a matter of fact, a half marathon in China featured both humans and robots.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Say hi to the mayor. And
the mayor.
He's watching the show.
You're the highest ranking official we've ever had grace our presence, I think, as far as government officials go. So thank you. And I apologize for any hassle Ivan has caused you in your town. He's really a good guy down deep. So, we love him. Welcome. It's good to have you here. A marathon with robots. What could possibly go wrong here? First of all, robots don't necessarily get tired, right? Like parts might break.
I envision riots, right? Or like a mosh pit, because I'm thinking the movie I, Robot. So I envision a starting
one of us,
mosh pit, so no one can run the race. Yeah.
The day will come when it's just like, pick your favorite robot to win the race, and we all sit and watch as drones fly along and film it. Automated drones, and it's piped into our TV as we sit in our lounge chair, which transports us around our house to the various things we want to do or participate in the house. It's pretty soon people are going to be a non-necessary part of entertainment if we continue down this road. The robots, by the way, were successful in the race. One of them the winning robot finished the half marathon, which is 13 miles, time of 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is fast. It's not faster than people. It's nearly an hour slower than the fastest person, but it's catching up and it's getting better. Pretty soon they're going to have to do like battery checks at the Olympics to see if the athletes are entirely human.
Yeah, what was his name? Sonny? Like, Sonny, is that you in race apparel with a wig on? We're on to you.
Yep. The pictures are funny. There was actually one robot that sort of collapsed of exhaustion right at the starting line. And I guess there was a battery issue or something. I had to charge him up, change the battery, and then continue the race a couple minutes later. But how demoralizing as someone who's trained and run and toned your body to ignore pain, to focus, to push past those hurdles that would stop most people in a race like that. To be, mile 12 of a half marathon And along comes the Energizer Bunny, still going, dong, 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 runs past you, breaks the finish line. It's yeah, sponsored by Energizer for sure.
This is a timely article because I was actually supposed to run yet again another half marathon this Sunday in Oklahoma City. And I bowed out yesterday. Again, was going to run with the neighbor. Now, I trained for this one a lot, a bit more than the other one, but not as much as I should have. But I was running 6 mile runs at 9:35 pace per mile or so. It wasn't fun. It turned out, so the whole reason I wanted to do it was to say I ran a half marathon. And then as my training went on and I would go run a 6 mile run, by mile 4, I'm going, okay, I've had enough exercise for today because I already exercised this morning and I've done this. And now I just want to go home. I'm done. Now I'm bored. I'm tired of this. I'm not enjoying this. And so then I thought, well, when I do my 8 mile next week and my 9 mile, and then when I go run this 13, who am I proving this to? Who putting this on my resume saying I did it at my age now means nothing. Absolutely.
Mile 6, you called Uber. You're like, come get me.
No, I planned it so I could get home by mile 6. But I just thought, what the heck? I'm doing this to say I did it. When you become adults, no one cares when you say, well, I've done this, I've done that. You need to do things like that for yourself. If you really want to accomplish it, to prove to yourself you could do it. And I just thought, I'm not loving this because I'm not a runner anymore like I used to be. And maybe I could do it. And that's great. And if I did do it, I wouldn't come home. Oh, I'm so proud of myself for doing that. So I just thought, you know what? Why? So I said, you know what? I'm out. I'll continue running because obviously my fitness has gotten in good shape on top of me. People will knock it, but playing pickleball every morning has helped tremendously as well. But I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm not going to have fun. I'm not going to love it. Now, it would be fun camaraderie with the neighbor and that type of thing and a fun experience. But we'd have we go ski trips and we all hang out and, make food on the smokers and we do pool parties and all that. So I just said, Thomas, it's time to grow up a little bit, not do something just to say you did it because no one else cares what you've done or not done. So just don't. So
chase your dream instead of someone else's dream, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a robot, so I can't.
Speaking of dreams and chasing dreams, though, there's a guy in Japan who did just that, who knew what he wanted to achieve.
I hate this story. I picked it, and it breaks my heart.
I knew this would hurt you. Knew what he wanted to achieve and worked towards. As a matter of fact, he spent 10 years saving to acquire his dream car.
Ferrari 458. Beautiful, beautiful machine.
Yeah, I don't know. It gives the amount here in kroner. I have no idea what.
290,000 USD.
Okay, so a house expensive car.
Very nice house.
He bought a car that cost more than the average house, and he posts on Instagram this picture, and what a moment. I mean, this is 10 years of saving up for. While driving it home, it bursts into flames and burns to the ground. He's able to escape without injury. He noticed the flames coming out the back where the engine is. Don't know yet what caused it, but he said something about FML. I don't know what what does that mean? For my listeners, I don't know what he was talking about, but he's like,
not seriously? For your listeners.
The pictures, the side-by-side pictures, the timestamps are just terrible.
My Ferrari burned to ashes an hour after delivery. I mean, that's just, like I said, that crushed me. I'm a huge car guy. I love exotic vehicles. I like nice car, watching them, and I watch videos of them all the time. And oh my gosh, so sad. And that's the poor guy. I bet I'm the only one in all of Japan to experience this kind of trouble.
That was the FML I was talking about. Yeah, it's like, why me?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I mean, you sort of hope that there was insurance of some sort that might help him out there, because an hour worth of driving your dream car is not. I imagine what he had envisioned. Every 10 year, over 10 years of saving, putting change in the loose jar and stuff like that. But loose change in the jar. Sorry, not a loose jar.
Loose change in a jar. Speaking of vehicles, I just got my car back. I had some paint work done to it that I needed touched up, and I'm so glad to have it back. And do you ever read the articles that get posted every year by like Car and Driver, someone that's like 2024 most stolen vehicle, and then you read and see what they are, just because you're like, is my car on the list? Do I need to be extra cautious?
We consult that before we buy a new vehicle, just to see what are the odds of us being able to keep it for as long as we would like. Usually we're not buying the cars that are on the most stolen list. So
this is kind of crazy. This guy, the model, it was a Honda Civic, newer model. Let's see, I think it was an SI, if I had to believe. So it was a modified Honda Civic from factory, and his car gets stolen. Where is he located again?
I think he's in England, based on the license plate.
That's right. And so anyways, he loved his car so much, and so he goes car shopping, and he finds almost his exact same car. It's similar modifications, same color and everything. He loved it so much, he was trying to find the same car so he could, go find it. And so he's like, wow, that's kind of, it's a little eerie. It's pretty close, but
it's got less mileage though. 50,000 miles less, so better condition that way.
50,000 less miles. So he's like, cool, I'll save there. And he checks the different VIN number. So he's excited. So he goes check it out, and he actually says, the thought crossed my mind, what if I'm going to buy my stolen car? But then he said he rethought about it again. He's like, no, the mileage and the VIN number and all that it doesn't work that way, because it's a registered vehicle. So he feels confident.
He's buying from a shop, like a commercial car repair place.
So he's good. So he goes there and he gets it, and he does a test drive, and it's eerie how similar it feels. Well, then he does a little walk around, and he checks what they say, the boot, which is the trunk. And there's some pine needles left over from some Christmas stuff left in the trunk that he goes, wait a minute. I
had pine needles in my trunk.
I had pine needles in my trunk. And then, here's what blows my mind. That sparked his brain to go, wait a minute. When I drove the car, my phone immediately connected to the Bluetooth.
It's like, welcome, Josh.
And the navigation had waypoints in places I have been over the last couple of years. So it took the pine needles in the trunk to make it registered that the Bluetooth picked up. So
I just thought the car read my brain, that it just connected to me.
He was buying his stolen car back. What are the odds of that? Yeah, I know around here, if your car gets stolen,
it's gone. It's stripped.
Within a couple hours, it's already down in Mexico. It's out of Texas, which from here to the border, it's a good 10-hour trip. Somehow they get it there in an hour.
It's stolen. It's in a cargo train or a container, and whoosh, it's out of there
in a million pieces. Gone. See ya. So found it lucky. I didn't go all the way to the bottom. Let's see.
They've got a little issue because he bought the car again. He paid 22,000 quid for this, pounds. Twice. So I guess he bought it once and then he bought it again for the same price. So he's paid twice. He has the car. It's his. The police have authenticated. They went to the Honda dealership and they used the key to see, yes, in fact, was the same car and everything. But the place he bought it from might be on the hook here, because they were selling it to him, and legally it was stolen property when they sold it. So they might have to return the money and be out the car. And so it's how far back can they trace this car to see if they can get the guy who actually stole it and make him pay. But it sounds like the middleman might be stuck with the loss.
I thought he was going to get stuck and they wouldn't let him title the car because it's a stolen title, even though it's his car.
He's going to run into errors like that everywhere he goes. They're like, nope, that car was totaled. We have work right here. Oh my goodness. He still had the key. Like, he still had the key to the car. Like, his old key works in the new car. It's like, it's the same thing. It's the same dang car.
Gosh, that'd be crazy. Have you ever had a car stolen or broken into?
Broken into, yes.
Same.
But they didn't break anything. Like they didn't like break a window, mostly because I left my car open. But they rifled through all the papers. They went through all the neighbors' cars, and everyone had their cars locked, got their windows smashed, and they stole loose change. We're talking $1.50 out of the coin drawer. It's like clearly it's kids or druggies or something, But
Yeah.
it's like, you know what a headache that is to get fixed, what a hassle, the cost that incurs. Knock on the door, they'd give you the money in a heartbeat, and everyone just be happier. But no, I luckily we've not experienced that.
I had a car smashed, window smashed, passenger seat and rear. It was a Chevy Trailblazer, and my neighbor across the street was knocking on my door. I lived in this little townhome, and I opened the door, and he's wrapped up in a blanket. And it's weird. He was very, very nice guy. Great dog, super cool. We always waved, said hi. We might chit chat for a minute, but we never had any sort of notion to ever have to knock on each other's door or do anything. And this is like 6:45 in the morning. So open the door, I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, they got you, man. The car. And I went, what? And then I poked my head out, and I had parked on the curb that night, and then there was smashing the windows. And I went in and took the stereo I had in it. But I'll never forget. I mean, it was the worst feeling in the world. I felt so violated. It was weird getting in my car, knowing other people were just in my car, which is awful. But the worst part was,
try your house.
Well, yeah, good point. We had a single car driveway that had a carport. And so my roommate and I would always welcome in whoever's coming in the house there. Mm-hmm. We would always communicate whoever's getting home first or when they had to leave in the morning. So that way we wouldn't block each other in for whoever had to leave for work first. Right. And I remember communicating with my roommate. He said, I'm coming home at this time and I have to leave bright and early. So I said, oh, okay, I'll leave the driveway carport open. I'll just park in the street and you can pull on in. And he never came home. And if I had just pulled in and been in the carport, no cars there get broken into because the way that was built, it's right next to like living room window stuff that, they get busted.
Too high risk.
So he never came home and my car was on the street and it got busted into. And I'll never forget the passenger side door. Every time he shut it, glass for 10 years, you could hear rattle in there. No matter how many times we took the door panel apart. We found the 2 loose ones. We got them. And then here's more. No, it's infinity. It's like glitter on carpet. It's never coming out. But
it's a safety feature of the glass. Oh, a couple of people, big shout out here. Jay Reno became a member. Thank you very much, Jay. You're a member again. Appreciate that. Melissa Webb, member for 13 months, says, hey guys, happy to be here for the podcast. Thank you very much. Ivan had 2 super chats. The first one was talking about NFL Draft Day, hosted in God's favorite football town, Green Bay. And that goes with this one called The First 2 Picks for $1,000. I'm off to celebrate. So thank you, Ivan. And thanks for inviting the mayor to watch as well. Megan Easton, happy birthday to my BFF, Krista. We love you. Thank you very much, Megan. And Krista, great to have you here as well.
Megan, stay safe in Oklahoma. I know you guys are getting weather as well.
Good weather.
Just got good weather, per my definition. Matador, Texas. Extremely large and violent tornado on the ground with DVD-size hail. This is about 20, 30 minutes ago. There's a plethora of storm chasers out there if anyone's interested in the area. This is due east of Lubbock, Texas. From Lubbock north and the Panhandle, that's what's getting hit pretty hard, as well as parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle and western Oklahoma. Any of you in that area, Megan, I know you're one of them, kind of close. Keep an eye out tonight into the early morning hours for severe weather, although they should weaken as they move east.
Are we talking like Disney DVDs or like those little micro DVDs that you can put in like a Sony PlayStation?
I think when you say DVD, I think you mean like what everyone knows what to be a DVD.
Let me just say, I'm glad the technology did not decide to go with laser discs because those things were huge. In trouble. Movie size hail was dropping out of the sky then.
Record player size DVD. That would be considered a UFO. But
major Doors albums falling from the sky.
Speaking of weather, if you've got if April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Got it. Pilgrims.
That was digging way back to get that one.
You got it. You nailed it.
You know what I did? You know what I did today? I had my son feed the birds out in the yard. This is no joke. I had my son feed the birds. I bought bird seed.
Any ducks?
No ducks yet, but
Okay.
we have like 13 squirrels now, and they are fat as can be. Because in the last, I think about week, we fed them close to 25 pounds of food. I'm not sure what their diet is normally, but they still seem hungry. But so
They get trained to eat.
I think they're all females because all of them look pregnant. They're they're getting big, and the best part about it is none of them are able to make the jump from the tree to my house, which was the actual objective in feeding the squirrels, which was to make them
get up in your house anymore.
not fit for jumping. They have not been able to make that jump, to my knowledge. So I'm super happy. But my son went out and fed the birds, as we call it, and put the last 10 pounds of birdseed out on the yard. So we have, when I look out my window, and we'll have like a couple pairs of mourning doves out there. We've got like 6 or 7 squirrels. Actually the mockingbirds are really aggressive, but we got some of the biggest birds are blue jays, and some of these, they look like starlings, but have a long black tail. It's like a black bird with a sharp yellow eye. Not a starling. Actually, we haven't had any starlings at all.
So like a grackle?
Maybe. I don't know what that one is. We get those. We get cardinals, and little, I call them chickadees, which is a little like a house wren type, tiny bird. I haven't seen many other species other than that, but none of them eat the small bird seed. All of them, they only eat the black oil sunflower seeds.
You know why?
No.
It's the most fatty of the seed, because we've learned Mango, our pet parrot, that's his favorite snack, but we have to be careful on the sunflower seeds because it's the fattiest seed.
Well, that's all I'm going to buy from them from now on, because I cannot have the squirrels nesting my roof. It's bad. I was looking out the window at all the animals in the yard right before the podcast before we came in here. And I'm looking out and I see something falling down from the roof. I'm like, what is that? And I look down at the leaves on the shrubbery outside the window, and there's sawdust all over on the top of the leaves. Those stupid bees, the wood borer bees, have taken over and they're drilling a hole and taunting me by dumping the sawdust right in front of the window when I'm looking. So
you're under attack.
I have to get really good with my BB gun, because I mean, it works. I've shot them with the bug assault. I've been shooting them with the bug assault, but you have to be within 3 feet to get them.
They're big bees.
They don't bite though. I hear they can't sting.
So I was going to say most bees don't bite.
I feel bad shooting a bee that literally can't hurt me, but they're hurting my house, and so they have to go. So I will be out there with the BB gun shooting my own house, trying to get rid of these bees,
making more access points for bees.
Yep. That's what this weekend's going to call for, because the bathroom remodel is coming along great. Our walls are up. Son's did a great job. So awesome. Next we do drywall and electrical, plumbing, drywall,
tape, and mud.
And then the finishing features.
Beautiful. So. Well, one thing you do you know how to get squirrels to like you?
You froze there. So do you know how to what?
How to get squirrels to like you?
You feed them.
Act like a nut.
That works as well. Do you know why a baseball player was a bad sport?
Mm-mm.
He stole third base. He went home. Never underestimate a fat squirrel, says Red. Thank you, Red. It's so good to have you back. We've missed you. Can't wait. We might invite Red to tell us about our trip to Ireland.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know what it is. Everyone on the channel is like, I'm going on a cruise. I'm touring the world. Hi, I'm one of your mods. I'm in Italy right now. Here's a picture to prove it. I'm like, thanks, Josh. Yeah. I'm right here in North Carolina. I haven't gotten anywhere. Like, I haven't even left the house other than to get pizza.
July 4th week, I'll be in Mexico for 7 days. Putting that out there now.
Yeah, I guess summertime I'll be going. I've got a couple trips. I'll be going to Virginia. I'm going to go into Idaho, Bear Lake, for a family vacation for a week. I'll be doing lives from there. It's going to be good. I've got some things coming up.
I love it.
A couple camps and stuff.
I've got one more dad joke.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's based around chemistry. Never mind. I don't think it'll get a good reaction.
What do you call a man named David without an ID? Dave. Dave. All right. With that, we're going to call quits. Ivan's mayor. I apologize. That's what we do here. We have fun. Tomorrow, we're going to continue the coverage of the Karen Reed trial, gavel to gavel, as they have a half day on a Friday. They are doing the jury view, which means they get to drive by the homes that we hear about so much and
48
see
Fairview
videos. Yeah, driving by, going to take a peek what it looked like, so they get an idea. They probably drive by anyway, but yeah. So we were doing so well before we talked about this. Yeah, so that's going to continue. I know it's a divisive case. I'm hooked on this. The lawyering is top notch. There's new evidence. Things are changing. Compare and contrast from the previous one. I'm loving it, every minute of it. And this community is amazing. What they pick up on, and the argument back and forth respectfully. It's great. So join us for that. Other than that, it's weekend time.
Friday fun day. Enjoy.
Break up the BB gun. I'll give you a count on how many bees I shot on Monday.
Thank you for everyone that tunes in with us on a Thursday night. It truly is one of the best parts of our entire week. Scott and I enjoy it. We hang out and chit chat after the show and just recoup the show and just talk about how much fun it is. Not only just doing the show, but interacting with all of you in chat and what you guys bring to it as well. So thank you so much for joining us and allowing us to do this with y'all. Y'all have a good night.
We'll see you.